Nika. Let's go. Men's over us. Ain't different. Listen, it's women crushing it Wednesdays. OGs hooking up in the kitchen. Call it being range. Nike's opinions leave you kids days. Men's O's an unforgettable fighter. With a fist raised, we talking offensive defense. Cause if you get knocked out, it's all in the pretense. We put lights out like D10s. Christine, so pristine, you gotta respect the Queen's gift. Just sit back and enjoy the views. Opinions are plentiful, but it's for y'all to choose. Women crushing it Wednesdays. Let's get into it. It hit different.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Women Crushing It Wednesday. I'm here with my girl, Crystal. Crystal, how are you feeling this evening?
Very good. So good to be back. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, we've missed you. We've missed you so much. So glad you're back.
Yes, thank you.
So Nika, she's celebrating her sister's birthday tonight, and she will be back with us next week. So happy birthday to your sister, Nika. Wish y'all all the best. Have fun and be safe.
That's right.
But before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Arte de Tere that does our thumbnail, does our videos, and also Almighty Kane who does our intro. We love it. It's so good. So there's a lot of stuff going on in boxing today. All on Twitter, there's been a lot of stuff coming up. There's some fights coming up. I know that you had some things that you had pointed out. One being the Schofield fight.
Oh yeah, was that just announced today?
It was announced, I believe it was today. Was it yesterday? But it was just announced very recently.
Yeah. So he will be on the undercard of which one is it?
So I'm not sure what undercard that's going to be on.
I think it's on the Jake Paul undercard, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you know what? It is. The thing that really got my attention was that he was going to be fighting a Farmer.
Yeah, Tevin Farmer. I really respect that lad. I truly do. Like you say earlier, he don't have the best record, perhaps. You know, in this era, if you will, if you have a loss, or a lesson learned, the casual fan, they say, well, they shit, right?
Yeah.
But this isn't true. Tevin is very, very valid out here in the boxing world still. He have a tough chin, and I think that, you know, he can make some noise still.
No, he does. And I mean, yeah, his defense is it's awkward. You know, he has his hands down. He's moving his head back and forth. It's nothing that you would teach in the gym. But not everybody can get away with it. But he has some losses, but he's very tough. Like he's wild card, definitely. And anything can happen. You know, like you had mentioned before when we were talking backstage, you know, Schofield has a lot to prove. He's gotten a lot of heat. Not his own fault. I mean, his dad has a big mouth and talks for him. So then people, they don't like him because of his dad. So how do you think the pressure is going to be? Do you think he's going to get out there and be like, you know, this is easy work, or is he going to show us his skill set?
I think Schofield don't have an option at this point. You know, if Tevin Farmer, when Tevin Farmer get into that ring, we shall see the Tevin Farmer that you know, I'm not sure which one he will bring that day. But Schofield, he don't have an option. He have to display and he have to put on a statement. If he do not put on a statement that day, he lose his credibility. And he have to know that. His father have to know that. I don't think it's one secret. I think everyone at this point know that Schofield must put on a show. And if he don't, where will he go from there? I don't know.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, he said he turned down, the dad said, you know, he made a video in his car saying he turned down some little money to get the bigger money. And so here we are, you know. So I'm very curious to see how it's all going to play out. I really am. Shout out to the chat. Hi, Alicia. Hi, oh, that's my little grandson. Hi, Christian. Yeah, so Schofield announced yesterday on the Jake Paul card. Okay, thank you for that. Um, and GBP will get you fight date. Shout out to Oscar. He did the same thing with Barboza. Okay. So yeah, I'm really curious to see, but I'm kind of wondering like what was Jake Paul think to put Schofield on the card? I mean, nothing against him, but he usually has barn burners, like people that we really want to see. Like I wonder why he would pick those two. What do you think?
Perhaps his father reached out. I don't know. I have no
Yeah.
idea why Jake Paul will put them on the card, other than the fact that I don't think that he have to pay them the amount of money that he would have to pay some other valid boxes. I really have no idea why he would do that, but I appreciate it because that will make me watch that card.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna watch it. And speaking of also, Bob Arum was very verbal
Oh
a
yeah, I see
a
something about
day or two ago. I think he was really criticizing Jake Paul, saying he's not a fighter and he's not boxing a real boxer. That was one part of Bob's comment. He was talking about Chavez Jr. and saying, criticizing him that he's not a real boxer. What do you think about his comments?
First of all, I think Bob make comments to make marketing, right? We have known Bob to say some things that um, you would never hear me say or other people, but for some reason, Bob think he can get by with it, and he truly do. So,
Yep, yep,
but do
yep.
I agree with it? No. Jake Paul, let me say this about Jake Paul. A lot of people don't like the lad. A lot of people say he's not a true boxer. He has been bringing new eyeballs to this sport for quite some time now. And he
Yeah,
truly do put some work in the gym. Is he
yeah,
top tier boxer? I will disagree with that. I don't think
right.
he is a top tier boxer, but one thing he can do is promote. And he is doing
Yeah,
a fabulous job promoting females in the boxing world. When we have Uncle Tech come in and he state specifically, from my understanding, he will not be promoting any females. Jake Paul's
yeah.
still doing it. And then
That's
he
true.
just signed six more. So I can't say that I can't say that the lad is bad for boxing. I cannot say that.
And speaking of that, on the women, and he is doing a great job. He said nobody cares about women boxing. So Bob Arum told Jake Paul, nobody cares about women's boxing. So, with all due respect to Bob, Jake is showing that to be not true. But on another hand, I was thinking, I wonder what Michaela Mayer is thinking about that, because she signed a Top Rank. And he's saying nobody cares about women's boxing. I mean, what do you think would be going through Ed?
To be fair, he not the only one that we hear say who care about female boxing. Lou DiBella said this at one time.
Yeah,
Bob
you're
Arum
right.
said
To be
this.
fair, you're
Yeah,
right. You're right.
he that Uncle Chuck, he making it very clear. He have one female bout, and how many bouts he been putting out there,
Yeah,
with a lot of money too, right? So
yeah.
it seemed to me Jake Paul the only one who care about these female boxers. And if that is the case, I respect the lad. I respect the
hmm
lad for that.
hmm
I appreciate
I
the
do
lad
too.
for that. Because the
I
last
do
thing I
too.
want is for all these females to be working so hard. People like Layla Ali, we have Clarissa Shields, all of these people is paving the way, and now we're fixing to put a roadblock in front of them. That's not right. I don't
No,
like it.
no. No, absolutely not. And speaking of Clarissa Shields, she was being interviewed. She's been like really making her rounds. She had a few interviews, and one of them where she was talking about MVP had offered her some money to be on the undercard of Amanda and Katie Taylor, and she would fight Shadesha Green. She said, you know what? I mean, they're not offering me enough money, and I would love to come together. But then she also stated, I believe that haters, they think that I want to be like them. Well, nobody's done it like me. And in all truth, I mean, no, nobody else has gotten 2 gold medals. Nobody else has been unified in a few weight classes. So she's not lying. Um, but I was really proud of her by the way she carried herself and the way she was speaking, because she's turned a leaf. She seems more poised, more mature, not getting as angry. She's calling the shots, and she's showing that she's calling the shots.
We allow Canelo to call the shots for a reason. He the face
Hmm.
of boxing.
Yep,
Clarissa Shields is the face of women's boxing.
that's
And
true.
to be honest, she is a face in boxing that have changed some things. You know,
Yes,
10 to 12 years ago, we don't see the same Clarissa Shields that we see today. She by
that's true.
far, like you say, she have 100% do some maturing. You know, we all have our hard times, our low times, whatever. She have gone through it, right? So she
Hmm.
now has, like you say, tan one leaf or whatever that is.
Yeah, turn
She,
over a new
she,
leaf. Yeah,
she deserve to know her worth and demand what she wish. That
yeah,
that is
absolutely,
100% true and fair.
absolutely. Absolutely. No, welcome to the show. Better late than never. Talk
I'm
with your
sorry. My
advisor.
wife decided to go work out, and Latino women are very stubborn. So, you know,
How dare you? How dare you
I'm
say
just,
that?
I'm just you guys are very stubborn. Hi, Miss Monzo. I think that's your name. How you
Yes,
doing?
yes,
Good,
Miss
thank you.
Monzo, the great Crystal. Crystal, this is Norbs. So
Good,
what do
Norbello
good.
Alvarez. That's my name. You refer to me as that right there.
yeah, he wants to hug Canelo, but
I do. I
that's another
truly.
story. He wants Canelo to hold him. He's
He looks
said
like
it
he
many
smells
times.
really good. He looks like he smells really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Do you have some silk pajamas like he had?
I want them. I'm just trying to get matching ones and maybe send them some. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
but what's up, ladies? What are we talking about?
So, I mean,
Oh, we
we've been
what?
talking about a few things. We talked about Bob Arum's comments where he told Jake Paul that, he wasn't a real boxer. He doesn't fight real boxers, in fighting Chavez and whoever else, and that nobody cares about women's boxing. And we were just kind of thinking, well, how does Michaela Mayer feel? And then Crystal brought up a really great point that he's not the first promoter that has said nobody cares about women's boxing. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, your friend that came on the show um, not too long ago had the same thing to say.
Who's my friend? Who's that?
Well, Lou DeBella, you had him
My
on.
guy, my boy.
And he also said the same that nobody cared about women's boxing, and so I'm thinking, what are all these women thinking? That their promoters are saying that nobody cares about women's boxing.
Well, it's unfortunate when you put that out in the air. Uh, because women have had it really difficult in regards
Mhm.
to being looked at as equals in sports. You guys have not um, gotten the same light, and until recently, with the explosion of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese with the WNBA, and now them becoming millionaires. I think, and you got to look at it.
Crystal,
The
he always
average,
wants to bring in other sports in our little circle boxing. He always
which
does that.
one?
He does
Women's
that to me too.
sports.
Boxing. I mean, football, basketball. He does that all the time.
What
Let
the,
me
But
just say,
anyway, go ahead.
Caitlin is from the Iowa.
no,
Oh,
no,
okay. So
hold on.
she knows. Okay.
So let me explain. Look, no, just real talk. Look, all across women's sports, people are not given the same credit. The average salary in the WNBA is $80,000 a year. Do you know what the NBA men are making?
No
But
clue. 80
I
million.
mean, Jesus, we're talking about 300, $400 million contracts. Some of them 200 million, right? Bench
Right.
players getting 12 million. So it is a tough thing to go out and say. And again, the men do bring in the majority of the money when it comes to the sport. Now, going over to boxing, there has been more of an emphasis on female boxing. Shout out to Jake Paul. So I
Yes,
feel like when
absolutely.
Lou is saying that, I mean, I understand where Lou's coming from because women's boxing was not a focal point. It wasn't selling like that. So how can you turn it into profit? I
Ma-
think with Jake and Amanda doing what they're doing now, I think people's opinions are going to change because it's going to be more. The numbers are going to change. I
Well,
believe that.
and I will say that you are correct. But I will also say that the thing is, the reason why it is in the forefront, because there was a promoter that decided to take a chance. So any of these promoters had opportunities to do the same thing that Jake Paul is doing, because they had the skills, they had the talent, and any one of them could have done the same thing that Jake is doing now.
But there's a difference, right? And I'm going to tell you the difference, right? My lovely ladies here, okay? Jake is a superstar who not only is a promoter, he's an entertainer and a boxer. So he's able to use his influence to push these women. Nobody wants to see Lou DiBella with his shirt off.
Touche.
No. Nobody wants to see.
And Bob Arum are superstars in their rightful position in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
And they also could have started doing the same thing. Yes, Jake Paul can reach a wider span. But you cannot tell me that the people that are on social media or watching Jake Paul are the ones that are going to be in the stadium watching Amanda and Katie Taylor 3.
Well, a lot of them are going to be the people that he brought them to, and Amanda even admits that. Amanda sheds the light on Jake Paul for allowing his audience to go, because we can't say that a lot of the people that watch Jake Paul's fights are not boxing fans, and say that a lot of the people, and not say that they're not tuning in to just watch him and not Amanda. Like, come on, that's crazy. I think that it goes hand in hand, and I think him using his light to shine on the ladies is amazing, and it's a lot more beneficial because. Bob Arum is a promoter. He doesn't get in front of the camera. He doesn't fight. He doesn't bring in hundreds of millions of people to see him. You know what I mean? So Jake has an advantage, and he has balls. He took a chance and did that, and I love what he's doing. But
that's the point that I'm making. Yeah. Has balls, took a chance. Somebody just needed to take a chance, and everybody's mad that this influencer was the one to. That is my point right there.
No, 100%. But you got to think about it, Christine. At the same time, Jake is his own vessel. Like, he is really big. Like, he's very popular, and he can promote in ways and put him. I mean, think about it. Amanda wasn't the headliner right away. He had her on an undercard. He sold it. He made her into an international star. He took a chance and pushed for her to headline at Madison Square Garden. These are things that he did. Absolutely. And he used his influence. And Amanda was making garbage before Jake Paul. And, he used what he can do. Now, think about it. If I'm Jake Paul and I'm Lou DiBella, right? I can say, listen, you can use my image. You can sell my fight. Lou DiBella can't do that. So Jake Paul has a brand that generates a lot of money.
Lou DiBella is a baseball guy. He puts a lot of money into baseball and the stadiums. And that's where he wanted to put his money, and that's fine. So my point is, if you are a promoter and you have girls, then you need to put 110% or you need to get out of the game. That is my point.
Yes, but at the same time, Christine, you have to understand business and the WWE, right? Think about this. Remember the WWF, right? Everybody knows it's wrestling. Then there was Glow Wrestling. Remember Glow Wrestling? I don't know if you guys remember that.
Absolutely not. I absolutely do not. Crystal, do you?
So Glow Wrestling, right, was a female all-pro wrestling entity, right, which went under, lost money. Nobody wanted to see the female.
I bet.
Right?
I've never heard of it.
So WWF at the time and starts instilling these women over there. And now through their own superstars that were males, right? Let's just say they were males, right? They all were males. Now there's a lot of prominent women superstars in the WWE because they use the men to build them up. And I think that's kind of what Jake Paul is doing. And I think, now you're going to have the Clarissa Shields and the Bumgarners and the Amanda Serranos that are going to be able to facilitate moving forward and help shed more light on these girls because of what Jake Paul has done and using himself as a vessel to promote these women. So I think,
I'm not taking anything away. Yeah. I'm not taking anything away. I'm just saying that anything that you're really passionate about and anything that you really want to do, you can do. That's all I want to say about it. They had one foot in and one out. That's all I got to say.
No, listen, I'm with you, Christine. I'm with you. I'm all for the ladies. I'm a fan of my girl Sky Nicholson, and I'm with y'all. I got you.
This guy. So, Crystal, there's a backstory about this.
Oh
So
my goodness.
Tierra
Starting to
Brown was on the
worry, and I
show.
barely meet him.
Tierra was on the show, and he was singing her praises and how amazing and this and that, and
Love Tiara.
oh my gosh, he just yeah. And then Sky Nicholson inboxed him, and all of
Stop.
a
That's not what
sudden,
happened.
Sky's my girl. And then Tierra's like, I would never, ever, ever come on the show.
What? That's not what happened, though. This is what
It is
happened.
what
This is what
happened.
actually happened. This is actually what happened. Tiara
And
really
so
feels that way? This is what happened. Tiara came on the show and she gave her point of view. Okay. I am unbiased to the situation. I am not like Christine, that I have a horse in the race. Okay. I listened to Tiara tell her story, and she did. I did not witness it. I wasn't there, nor where I was behind the scenes. Sky Nicholson hits me up the night of the interview and says, it's bullshit. I want to tell my side. Can you say XYZ? I don't want to come on, but this is what I'm stating. And that's all I did. And then Christine, says I took sides, and apparently I didn't know Tiara was mad at me. Now I got to get
As
some
soon
flowers.
as you post XYZ,
Yeah.
now you put yourself in a mess.
a big
I
man.
love
Hot
Tiara.
mess.
I love
And
Tiara.
you loving every second of it. I can see it in your
We
face.
love it.
I love Tiara. But Tiara, if you're out there, I love you. I did not mean to offend you. I truly
doesn't believe
apologize.
you.
And how are you lunch?
I speak on being Tierra. Bullshit.
Christine, you know that's not true. You know I love
Okay,
Tiara.
okay. So
Stop it.
let's talk about let's change gears a little bit.
Yeah.
So this Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios is happening July 19th. Crystal, when you heard this, what were your thoughts? Like what?
No surprise. No surprise here.
Okay.
Not at all. I'm okay with it. Both of them, as far as I'm concerned, they both passed their prime.
Mario, really?
Yeah, I not a huge Mario Barrios person. I respect him, but Manny, I see one post from Boxing Barbecue. They have the video where Manny's wife is feeding him, right?
Yes.
So I mean, but that's been a couple of years ago, right? Since then, he have a couple of bouts. The thing that I don't like is
He had an expedition, but his last fight was like his last official fight was 2021 against Ugas, and then everything else was exhibition. Well, one other one exhibition.
So he is meant to be inducted into International Hall of Fame first ballot this year.
Yep.
I don't like the fact that he coming back out of retirement to fight Mario Barrios. Well, what do I do for him? I don't think he gained nothing with this bout. I truly don't. If he win, wonderful. Yay for you. You still have it. It's not. I don't think it will be like a stoppage by any means. I'll be shocked if it is. If it is a stoppage, I would be almost thinking Barrios will stop Manny if there is a stoppage, right? So I'm not surprised. Manny, he kind of moved different. And that's okay. I just don't wish to see the lad get hurt. I feel the same for Spint if Spint was to come back.
I don't want to see that.
There's more to life, and Manny still have a family. I just, that is true, Mark Nash. They say he be the oldest.
Brother, Mark Nash.
Yeah.
But what? Then he has to move on and fight these other younger cats that are coming through, So Norbs, I mean, everybody says that Barrios is not me, I'm just saying, people say that he is like the weakest of the champions in that weight division. And that is why he is fighting Manny. What are your thoughts?
I agree with that statement. I agree with what this young lady has said as well. The only difference I have with your opinion is I think Barrios is going to stop him. Manny's about 75. Wasn't he seeing a neurologist at one time? They were saying that he was having problems. And I think to Christine's point, and she said it on other shows, you got to wonder why Manny's doing this. Is it a financial thing? Because, you have nothing to prove. You're an 8th division world champion. You are arguably one of my top favorites. Yeah. I mean, you're arguably a lot of people's goats, and you're gonna go out there and fight Mario Barrios. Now, again, I don't believe Mario is that great. I think he is the weakest out of the champions, but guess what? He's the champion at 147. Okay. And the last time we seen Manny Pacquiao, he looked like a 75-year-old man that got the brakes beat off him by Ugas. So to me, I think it's an embarrassment. I don't think they should allow him to fight this fight. I think he can really get hurt. And I pray for Manny, and I hope he doesn't go through with it. I hope he cancels it at the last minute. But
he's not going to.
But think about this, Christine. Like, to your point, you said if he wins, that means that he may fight Brian Norman Jr. or Boots. He's gonna die.
He has to go on. And to Mark Nash, fighters like to believe they're retiring on terms. It's so true. It's like they don't want to retire. Like they feel like they can, I can beat this person. I can go one more time. It's like somebody has to tell them enough is enough. They want everything to be on their own terms. Mark Nash, thank you so much. Ding, ding, ding. Thank you so much. Please match my donation to support the show. I appreciate you so much. Appreciate you so much. I don't know. I mean, I feel, Nando, thank you so much. Appreciate you for that donation. Thank you so much.
$80 to see this guy? What? I'm not paying that.
So I know at one time that Pacquiao or I understand, have some tax debt, right? I don't think that is the case at this point. I think he have taken care of it from me understanding. But he's 46 years old. He's not the oldest man to box. Remember, B-Hop was older, right?
You're right.
But it's still the same concern. B-Hop, what he go out to a 22 or 23-year-old man. Remember?
That's true.
He could not clear out the ring.
That's true.
I agree, but at the same time, B-Hop did jail time. He ended up going late, and his style of fighting was very defensive. Manny's is not. It's a very straightforward action type
He did
fight.
not take as much punishment because he was locked up for a while, so he did not take as much punishment. And that's another thing. Alexander Barrios and Pac-Man is also pay-per-view, $80. I mean, we're going to watch it because of Manny. Really, thank you, Mark Nash. I'll read this real quick. One thing we do know is the fight is going to be exciting because Manny and Barrios are both going to go in there swinging. They are. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Mark, now for that. But I am concerned. I am concerned. And yes, we're paying 80. Would we want to pay 80 if it was just Barrios against maybe someone else? Maybe the allure is Manny.
Absolutely, it is.
So, Hector, it's I don't know.
They're definitely selling the fight with Manny. I mean, nobody's paying $30 to see Mario Barrios. Let's be honest. But at the same time, it's kind of sad. It really is.
It is. Alexander Wilson said, "Does Manny have his legs?" I don't know.
I think we find out that night. I don't know. And depending on how camp goes, that will be the interesting part. I don't know.
Absolutely.
He just walked into camp, I think, a couple of days ago. I mean,
I think he did. Ramirez saying 4.7 July 19th is Bam Rodriguez fight. Yes, I'm so excited. As a matter of fact, so Omari Jones, who is also on the undercard, our bronze medalist Olympian, he messaged me because they're having a media day here in Dallas, so he's coming in Monday, and then I think BAM Media Day is Tuesday. So if you're in the DFW area, go check it out.
Christina, I love my young Puerto Rican champions like Bam. Love the guy. Can't wait to see him on July 19th.
Listen to this guy, Crystal. He's trying to take him.
He's down with us. My guy. It's my guy.
No.
Omari?
WBC said they made a mistake ranking Manny. I didn't see that.
What do you mean they made a mistake ranking him?
I hadn't seen that come out.
He shouldn't be ranked. I mean,
no, he's ranked. He has to be ranked to be able to fight for a title.
Yeah,
he should, but he has to be.
I mean, it sucks, man. It kind of shows you where boxing is sometimes. Where, if you got a name, Go out there and get the brains beat out of you because it's just terrible. I'm sorry.
Mauricio Suleiman said they didn't mean to. Ooh, I didn't see that. That's horrible.
I did not see that either. That is rather
Yeah, I haven't
interesting.
seen that. I'm gonna have to. I have been so freaking busy lately, but so we have May 31st, which is right around the corner. PBC, Caleb Plant is Resendez, and then Jermelle. I'm sorry, Charlo versus Lamana. Let's talk about that. So Crystal, Resendez, Caleb Plant. Resendez, yeah, Elijah Garcia, who's up and coming, great PBC fighter. He was actually getting pieced up by Resendez until he hit the beat, and then Resendez was done, And then we saw Resendez totally destroy Hurd, but can he do the same thing to Caleb Plant?
Jarrett Hurd, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Caleb Plant is not Jarrett Hurd. So that's definitely a difference there. I think Caleb will be able to box this lad. I don't see it. I mean, anything can happen in the sport of boxing, right? But I think Caleb will. This is a great fight for Caleb.
It is.
Get some confidence and let's get back into it. Yeah.
Yes. What do you think about this, Norbs? What do you think about this match? Is this a challenge for Plant?
I think Plant doesn't take fights that aren't challenges. I think he actually does fight people all the time, but we all know what this is about. It's a setup for either him versus Charlo or him versus my boy EB. I mean, which we all want to see.
Wait a second. When you say the name EB,
I have a story about this. Edgar Berlanga, hold on. I got a story for this. Crystal, listen to this. This is funny. Okay, here's another thing. Talk about Mark Nash, flip-flop? Okay, listen to this. So, Crystal, we can go back a few weeks, and Norbs was totally dogging Berlanga. I mean, dogging him out. And I said, let me tell you something. I believe that in the very near future that Berlanga will be a superstar. And one of the main reasons that I believe and know that Bud will beat Canelo is by the way, Berlanga was the ring with Canelo. And he was like, no, y'all can have him. You Mexican people can have him. And I said, okay, that's fine. Then Norbs, Berlanga's coach called Norbs and was talking sweet in his ear, I guess. I don't know. And then all of a sudden now, Berlanga's his guy.
That's not what happened.
Tierra Brown and like Sky Nicholson thing. I don't know.
I like Sky. It's my girl.
So all it takes is a phone call to Norbs and he love you.
That is not what happened. I still am very hesitant to put Berlanga in the superstar status as a fighter, but as an entity, he has handled himself as a star. I mean, he stole the show versus Shakur Stevenson. He understands how to be a star. Now, resume-wise, I mean, he needs to go out and beat these guys. He needs to go beat Sharice and then beat Caleb Plant, and then we can say very nice things about him. His coach did call.
You just said in the same breath that Caleb will either fight Charlo or your guy Berlanga. So you think that he'll fight Berlanga before Charlo, or is Charlo going to be next after? So Lamana, let's So the last time he fought was in August. The last time that Charlo fought was in 2023. Mm-hmm. How tough is this for either one of them?
You telling me or her?
Either one.
You said before that you said he would fight either Charlo or Plant, correct?
You said that. You said or my guy. When I said
which one would be bigger
was being set up for Charlo or your guy Berlanga.
Mm-hmm. I think the bigger fight is Plant versus Berlanga. We already know the history. Charlo's inconsistency, unless he puts on. I mean, for real. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. I think Charlo's been gone for a while. We question his dedication. I think he's a super talented fighter, but he should have took the fight after he got slapped. I'll be honest with you. Like, it should have been right after that. He waited too long. Berlanga and Plant really have been the ones pushing a fight, and people want to see that to me more than Charlo.
Who want to see Berlanga with Caleb Plant? Because I don't know.
Everybody does. Really? No.
Berlanga is not on the same level.
Plant is a bigger fight?
No. I'm not saying Charlo either, but can I tell you, Berlanga is not on the same level as Caleb Plant. No way. Caleb Plant never tried to bite nobody's.
I know. Listen, I question his resume too. I question his resume too. I agree with you. But it still is the bigger fight. I feel like they've sold it to be the bigger fight.
I personally believe that Caleb Plant and Jermelle Charlo is the bigger fight, and I'll tell you why. Number one, yes, because of the slap. Number two, so Charlo is going to put on a boxing clinic against LaManna, because even though he just left the ring in August, and, you know, it's been a few years for Charlo. Charlo has a lot to prove. He wants to get back in the game, and he's going to put a beating on LaManna. Everybody wants to see that. What are you going to do, Charlo? You let Plant slap you in the face like a bitch? What are you going to do? I'm just saying.
I think that train is gone and past for a while. I think Charlo has to be great.
No.
If you was to put up a poll on your Twitter right now, I believe the majority of people rather see Plant versus Berlanga than Plant versus Charlo. Put up a poll. I would bet you $20.
Well,
right
the women are going to say we never forget. We don't forget shit. So
I hear you, but Berlanga is the more attractive fight money-wise. I think even Plant.
Bud couldn't stop Canelo when he said this. Berlanga don't want the Plant smoke. I agree with that. Berlanga calling out Munguia. Yeah. I don't know if he can get past Munguia, to be honest with you.
I question that too.
Well, I do. He still has to face Shiraz. Okay, don't look past Shiraz before you start touching on Munguia. And it says fight. Hopefully he's not taking it from it. Because you have to remember, we saw Turkey in the corner. That's his guy. So he may have more than just Shiraz against him when he does fight him.
Oh, no, I believe that Berlanga has to knock out Shiraz, to be honest with you. But I'll say this. If they all handle business, if Charlo handles business, Caleb Plant handles business, and Berlanga, and they were all on an equal playing field, I still think it's Berlanga that's the bigger fight for Plant. And I think Plant sees that too. I mean, I think the tougher test, if you was to say resume-wise, you'd probably say Charlo. But the monetary fight, the bigger money, I think Plant will get it with Berlanga.
The thing about Berlanga, he can't put butts in seats. I always give that to him. I see that. However, Plant can also do the same. So regardless of, and Charlo's, there's no one to mess with either. They can put some butts in the seats also. Happy birthday, by the way, to the Charlos.
Yes, happy birthday.
I think they just have a birthday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they did.
But to be fair, I think Plant can go either way, Charlo or Berlanga, and still make good money for both of those fights. But I don't think Berlanga have a chance.
You don't think he has a chance against Caleb Plant, as we're saying?
That would be a very good fight because their styles are so different. I'm really, I don't know. You know what? Bud Canelo, love his handle. It depends on all their next performances. It does. Me personally, if somebody like slapped me, we're fighting next. But that's just me.
I think styles do make fights. I think Caleb Plant does tend to wear down towards the later rounds. The one thing about Edgar,
maybe the last round or two.
Last couple rounds. But the one thing about Edgar that if you look at Edgar as opposed to Charlo is by far, if you look at them both right now, the better boxer, right? I think Edgar's size is what separates the three of them. I think Edgar,
he is big,
if Edgar were to utilize his size like some of our great champions before, he could be a problem for Caleb Plant, but he's yet to show that, which I agree with you guys.
That's the thing.
So Edgar were to go out and do that, and again, he's switched trainers. He's trying to revert back to what they viewed him as being a great fighter instead of falling in love with the knockout. If he's able to use his size, his jab, that's a big kid. I know a couple guys that have fought Berlanga, and they said it like when he's a very thick individual, he's a very big guy, and he does have power. So I mean, it depends on what we see with Shiraz.
Well,
We know
and
we're gonna get with
the thing is too is like, okay, so I think Jermelle, Jermelle, I'm sorry, more apt to be in the pocket with Berlanga, and I think Caleb would be like boxing circles around him. So they're totally different styles, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just feel like the size. I think you can't teach size, and if Edgar learns how to use his size, that is a problem for anybody.
No,
That's
for
a
sure.
big
I
kid.
do agree with that. I do.
That's a
Bud gonna,
huge learning. That's a huge learning.
Crystal,
A
don't you
huge
love
what?
his handle? Bud gonna stop Canelo. Cheryl
Yes.
apologized to Plant and said he was wrong for grabbing his beard for what it's
Thank
worth.
you.
Okay, that's good. Thank you for telling me that. That kind of diffuses the animosity a little bit. So that's
I'll be
good.
honest. That makes me nervous for Charlo. I want Charlo with an edge. He's
No,
gone through a lot of
he said
mental
he was
things.
sorry. He has a soft spot,
He
which
should
is
have
good.
said
There's wrong
sorry
with that.
afterwards. So he should have said sorry there.
That's one thing about both of the Charlo lads at this point. They both lack a self-discipline, in my opinion, that
Agree.
have affected both of their careers.
Yes.
And because of that, which Charlo will we see when we see the next bout? I don't
Yeah.
know. And I
Yeah.
think that would be something that I'll keep in my mind if I was a betting person, which Charlo we will see.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
listen, I'm with you. I agree 100%. I think, listen, skill set wise, I think Charlo probably has the best skill out of all three. If you was to really look at them, right? It's just
Boxer,
is he there
brawler.
mentally? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
mentally. Is he there? I mean, within the
He
last
don't throw his hands with Canelo. So if he choose not to throw his hands in the next one, he not going nowhere.
That's true.
no, that was the other
frozen.
brother.
That's right. He was frozen. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
You're right. Before we move on to the next subject, so Norbs, you're on whenever we were talking about the Farmer and Schofield fight that was on. This going to be on the Jake Paul undercard. What do you think about that match?
I feel like Schofield's pops is just horrible. I mean, I'd rather have seen Abdullah Mason. I'd rather have seen Shakur. Are we really going to get
They're
this
already
fight?
fighting somewhere else, everybody. But yeah,
I mean,
go ahead.
are we really going to get the fight every time? I mean, the last time we seen he was in a fight, his son ended up in the hospital. So until he steps in the ring, I don't know what I'm going to do. I do like Schofield a lot. I think Schofield should win the fight. I think he's a very talented young kid. My biggest question is his dad, but I like Schofield. I mean, Farmer just had a tough loss recently, right?
Yeah,
His father can't box for him though, right? He can.
No, he can't. But he can't box, but he could ruin the fights, which he's done a very great job at a couple times.
Yeah.
But I think I mean, it's hard to go from like Shakur to the Farmer. That falls on his dad. Period. I don't care what nobody says, but
honestly, I mean, Crystal and I were talking about this earlier. Like, so maybe Schofield, and I love him. He's a great kid. Maybe he has like more skill set. He's faster, stronger, whatever. But Farmer is a wild card. Like, he is very, very awkward.
Tough fight, yeah.
So I'm very interested to see how he's going to deal with that. So Aaron said, I think the Pac fighting Barrios is disturbing for two reasons. The board are ignoring the top contenders. Yeah, that means the division is weak. I mean, that is a weak division. I'm sorry, no disrespect, but it is weaker than than 54 or some of the other ones. Yeah. So, but what do you think about the fight? So, okay, he's frustrated. He said, "Don't talk about his dad." What do you think a fight between them two?
I got Schofield. I got Schofield winning the fight. I think he's just younger. I think he's better. I think Farmer is a dangerous fighter, but we all know why Farmer's there to propel Schofield. I think Schofield should win the fight. I mean, I like him. I like the kid. You know what I'm saying? I can't be confident that the fight's actually going to go down until we see him step in the ring at this point. That's all I'm saying. But I
think Jake doesn't mess around, like getting in the ring. That's my thought. What about you, Crystal? Is it going to happen?
I agree 100%. I think Schofield's he definitely getting in that ring, and I think they will probably chances are look past a little bit Kevin Farmer and not realize that awkwardness can be a true threat.
Absolutely.
looking past Farmer with what you've accomplished. I mean, the last fight we seen him and he fell off the stool. He wasn't as impressive. I don't know if you can look past Farmer.
He's very awkward. Like you do not teach what he does in the gym. You don't. Like you can't teach that. You know, he doesn't have his hands up, his head is everywhere, but he honestly throws people off and he's very awkward. You know, how do you teach someone, or how do you prepare for somebody like a Farmer? So that to me is why he's a wild card.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I know you. So anyway, so I want to talk about Franchon Dezern Cruz versus Citalia Ortiz. So a lot of people, so they're fighting for Franchon's belts, WBC and WBA, middleweight titles. So a lot of people don't know this young lady, Cecilia. She was on the Mexican national team. She's very talented. She's very, very talented. Her record is, I think, like 4-0 in the pros. It's nowhere compared to the experience as Franchon. But I'm going to tell you that this girl has so much heart, even though she's very super short and can throw like nobody's business and work angles like nobody's business. So I am very excited to see this fight. Like this, I'm super excited about this. I really am.
When is this scheduled for? Which card this is on?
Oh
That's
God,
the manufacturer
it's
on
happening June 6th. And I'm not card, but it's June 6th. It's the day before the Davis brothers in Norfolk. But I'm not sure. If anybody knows, please let me know the promotional company. But it's I know it's June 6th.
Yeah, it's for that the Manny Pacquiao inductee thing, right?
Is it?
Oh,
Yeah,
is it in the Canastota? I believe you're right. It is in the Canastota, so it'll be in the International Hall of Fame on the Friday night. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm personally excited. And how old is this girl? She's young. She
Very
might
young.
be 20, 21 maybe.
Yes, an opportunity right now. That's crazy.
She's very young, and let's say she's probably 21, but she had to be at
One
least.
thing we know about Franchon for sure, that lady have heart.
Yeah, she will not quit.
No.
Yes, that is why I'm so excited about this, because they are both the same as far as having heart and not quitting. Like I have seen both of them. Yeah, 21. Okay, she's very young. Franchon does not stop, does not quit. We've seen her so many times pull the fucking wig off, fighting somebody on PEDs, does not stop, fought Clarissa, ready to fight her again. And Cecilia Ortiz, I've seen her internationally, and that girl does not quit either. So this is going to be, y'all need to write this down, because this fight right here, this matchup is going to be a fire show. Mark my words. I'm telling you.
What is it? Co-main? Do you know?
It's the main event.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's the main event. I believe it's the main event.
Ooh, good for them ladies. I'm proud of them.
I know. I love it.
I can't believe you forgot that it was on a weekend. We interviewed her together, Christine.
I know, but I knew that.
Tell Tiara I love her, all right? I don't know. I'm going to have to hit
No.
I'm still upset that she's mad at me right now.
Bud Gonna Stop Canelo said, Clarissa said Franchon hits the hardest that she's ever fought. Yeah, I mean, she is called the hard-hitting mama. People do say very heavy-handed. So this is just, I'm excited. This is like a really good matchup. And then, of course, we have the next day, the Davis brothers. We have Keyshawn, we have Kelvin, and we have Keon. And we have Troy Isley and Tigerson. So that's also going to be another
Is Abdullah on that one as well?
Yes, Abdullah is too. Yes,
I think he is. Yeah. That'll be a heck of a card. I can't wait. I can't decide, do I stay in the Canastota or do I go over to the Norfolk? I can't decide what to do.
Crystal, take me with you. I so much. I mean, it's like I've been so busy and I love it, But I really miss traveling and going to fights. But I'm gonna get back on the horse. I really am. It's so I want to before we go though. There's like I want to talk about so. Top Rank just signed a teenage prodigy, Julian Montavo. Ooh. And he's 17 years old. He's from Vegas, I believe. I don't know if I saw that. Did y'all see that? And I was asking Crystal because Crystal is a USA official, and I was asking her if she remembered this guy. I remember the last name. Do you remember the last name, Crystal?
Yeah, I recognize the name. I don't know
Yeah.
if I will recognize the lad if I see him walk beside me, but I do recognize the name. Where is he from again?
I believe Vegas. I want to
Vegas.
say
Yeah.
Vegas. So he's 20-1 in the amateurs. He did not make it. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, he never made it to the elites. He were on Team USA for the elites. They scooped him up before that, and he wanted to go pro before that. Um, and I saw some of his fights. He's good. He's good. Um, Nothing against him. I hope he becomes a world champion, in the next 5 to 8 years. But I wasn't like just like, wow, oh fuck, yeah, sign him. I wasn't.
What
I
weight
wasn't.
is he?
So he fought 130 in the shares, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, but it's just very interesting. I'm wondering. So Bob's getting older, no,
The guy.
and I'm thinking, is he rounding up, the next generation, just picking them up?
Well, but one thing we have to remember, Papa Bob don't have a lot of say anymore on what is happening over there, right? Yes, potentially he have the final say, but we have Todd DeBoof, who really is running the show over there, from my understanding. So what do they see in this lad? I'm not sure. Potentially he's a local from the Vegas area, so potentially they pulling him in before someone else pull him in because they
Mm-hmm,
do see the potential in him.
mm-hmm,
It can
mm-hmm.
be something that simple, truly.
And honestly, I mean, it can be done. Like you pick them up, they're good, and then you can make them great. So I do see that. It just he's so young, you know. But maybe his dreams were not to go to the Olympics. So
But remember Xander Zayas,
yeah, Xander, yeah, he was
he
the
was very
youngest.
young as well. I
I think
remember
he
that
was, but I think
2018.
he was 16 when they signed him.
Yeah, he was one of the youngest that Top Rank ever signed back in 2018.
Shout out to Xander. Julian
No,
Montalvo's 302 KOs. Looks like he's 12 years old. I don't know who that is.
no, yeah, he does look like he's 12. I think he's gone pro yet though. HLD. He just got signed. Like he's like 20-1 in the amateurs. 3-0 with 2 KOs. I don't he hasn't I don't think had did
He's 20-1 in the amateurs. That's it.
that's my point. 20, yeah, 21. I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, some of these guys are like
Something's just not
100,
adding up quite
200.
right here.
Yeah, and that's why I'm curious. I mean, my sons, some of them were ranked and they were like 70-4 or like 105 or something like that. So it's just like he's 21, but it is what it is. And this is a new age. Actually, we've seen a lot of things that we don't usually see. So it's very interesting. The things that are going on.
So he just signed with them yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. So that's why I'm like, what are you talking about, HLD? He's not. He doesn't have any pro fights. 3-0 with 2 KOs. No, that's not. But I before we go to, I want to mention about Olympian Joshua Edwards. He's going to be fighting May 30th in Vegas on DAZN. To me, he is the next great heavyweight hope. Like, to me, like, I've seen him come up internationally. He has fought guys that right now are ranked as far as the pros and internationally. And I want y'all to keep your eye. He's signed by Golden Boy. His manager is Lester Bedford, one of my really good friends, and he really he's come ranks. Crystal, I know you've seen Joshua. What are some of your thoughts? And then Norbs, are you familiar? We'll ask you next. Crystal, what do you think about Joshua? I mean, to me, he's the next, heavyweight hope for me.
Yeah, he's good. We actually just last week, over the last year, actually, in the amateurs, I'm seeing some lads that could potentially make some noise in the heavyweights, and
Okay.
I think Joshua will take the lead and
Yeah,
open some doors for them and provide them with the resources potentially that they need so that we can get a heavyweight back in the America, right?
I love it.
Or in the United States,
Yeah,
however
and
you
he's
want to
from
put it.
Texas, so I'm
Hmm.
happy.
Yeah, and I expect good things out of him. I really
Me
do.
too.
I think that he have the support, and I think he have the mind at this point to make some things happen.
Well, and I love the fact that, there was all this talk about, that Golden Boy was only signing, Hispanic fighters. Joshua is a black fighter, and I love that. He shut I mean, everybody was shut up, you know. The De La Hoya is signing all fighters, all kinds of fighters, you know.
Well, I
That's
think
Um,
what
it's good for Joshua. Golden Boy is not a I won't degrade any company, promotional company, but I think it's a good start for him.
yes.
And to be fair, Golden Boy don't have anything right now that they're holding on to really. So if they want to put the funds into him, let them do that. That's a
Absolutely.
great opportunity for him.
Yes. Norbs, are you familiar with Joshua?
I am not, but we definitely need an American heavyweight, man. People are
Yes.
complaining about the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
No, I mean, people say it's non-existent, but it's not that it's non-existent. Is that there's not a lot of great American heavyweights at this point, and we
Well, I
haven't
mean,
had a
right now,
great.
in the running, Richard Torres, and then we have Jared Anderson, but he's got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I saw from him recently where he's like, I don't know, I don't know if I want
I
this.
mean, over the last 20 years has been dominated, maybe even more than that. It's been dominated by the Europeans. So I think
Hmm.
that's why people are feeling about the heavyweight division in America the way they feel. So
Yeah.
we definitely need one. We had Deontay Wilder, but he couldn't beat the greats or the great Tyson Fury, and that's where we're at right
My
now. So
guy. That's my guy. Sorry.
Tyson Fury's Puerto Rican too.
Speaking of Wilder, he coming back again to the Kansas.
Oh Jesus, please not.
He is.
Oh gosh.
He
I'm
needs to
just
retire.
saying. I see
The
that.
last fight he did a spin move. I thought I was watching Save the Last Dance. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch Deontay no more. Charlie
And
Z versus Deontay's the rematch I want to see. I don't want
well,
to see.
and also speaking of a Tyson Fury, I mean, Frank Warren was saying he would really still love for the Fury AJ, fight happen, and then Eddie was right behind there saying no, put us out of our misery and just stay out of boxing, Tyson
He's-
Fury. But knows what happens. Like everybody knows, I am a huge Tyson Fury fan, but
you like our Puerto Rican fighters, I can see. Eddie is full of shit. I'll tell you right now for saying that. He knows how big that fight would be in the UK. We're talking Wembley. Come on, stop it. Stop the BS, Eddie. Like, come on.
Does everybody unanimously agree that Keyshawn versus De Los Santos is going to be a Keyshawn landslide?
Yes,
Yeah, me
I mean it's expected.
Will it be a
What,
knockout? Is the
what does
question.
Keyshawn do after that, though? That's the question. What does he do after that?
I mean, we will see. Let's get
We
through
can't
it.
have a plan. There's no doubt in my mind.
Oh,
I think it was a
they have
140.
a plan.
I believe in that lad.
You know what, St. Crystal, is that we were on earlier and Jermelle was on and he was talking about Red and Norbs had no idea who Red was.
I don't know what the hell he was talking about. I'm not gonna lie to
Jamel
you.
He's like, who's Red?
Herring.
He's like, who's Red Spikes?
He said red spikes. I thought he was talking about. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not at the amateurs with this lady checking out the
Amateurs?
lads.
No. He's not even an amateur lad.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. You guys are the professionals. I'm a fan.
Listen,
Okay, I
as a
admit I'm a
fan,
fan.
most fans know who Red Spike is.
No, it sounds like a really bad HBO movie, Red Spike. I'm not gonna lie, but I will do my research on him. Sorry. I
Okay.
apologize.
We forgive you, maybe. I don't know. We'll discuss amongst ourselves.
Do you know Jermelle Herring?
Yes, I know Jermelle.
Oh,
I
okay.
know
Why are you being so
barely.
mean? I liked you. I like the whole lad
Barely.
thing. I'm gonna start telling people lad. You know what I mean?
No, I'm
Yes.
just a casual lad.
No,
Is that
I'm not a casual. I just don't know every trainer that's out there. I'm sorry. No problem. Sorry.
Okay,
You guys
so
are haters.
before we get out of here, I want to go around. So, what is the biggest matchup for 2025 in your eyes?
that's easy?
I know.
It's Canelo Crawford. What
Absolutely.
can be better? This is the best matchup in the last decade.
Yes.
And excuse me, but take your silky pajamas with Mr. Canelo and take yourself night night if you wish.
I'm not gonna.
Norb,
I'm gonna
Norb,
say. I'm gonna say.
2025 best matchup that's happening. Okay. HOD said Boots versus Tio. That's not happening. One that is happening.
That's happening.
That is happening.
I don't think it's gonna be much of a matchup. It is the biggest matchup, but Canelo will put Terrence or AKA Kendrick Lamar to sleep.
Wow. You better take your pajamas.
I got him,
Crystal,
and I like Kendrick. You know
Who
what I mean?
invited this lad on the show?
Oh my God.
Crystal, we're
believe it.
serving
Crystal.
crow. We are serving crow in September.
Crystal,
Norb
I want
is
you guys
going
all.
to be put
God,
down.
I want you guys all on the show after Canelo stops.
Oh,
Mr. Norbs,
Yes.
don't hide.
who was your choice in what choice do you have in July 29 of 2023?
I'm sorry.
Who do you choose on the last big bout with Bud? Bud or Spence?
I had a 50-50, to be honest with you. I didn't know that Spence
You
was
didn't
gonna
pick a
show up
side.
there.
It was pick a sides season, and you miss it.
Listen, I didn't know that that Errol Spence was going to show up there on high off ecstasy. I don't know what the hell he was doing that night.
Oh
But-
my gosh, high off ecstasy.
I
Okay.
don't know what he was fucking
Man,
out of it.
I've been telling you all for a decade, more than a decade.
Yes.
Mr. North, I don't know where you've been.
Huh.
I don't know if you've been cuddling in your silky pajamas, dreaming of Mr. Canelo. But I'm telling you, you don't listen. You need to listen.
This is what we're gonna do. After Canelo puts him to sleep, I want you to take I want a huge Canelo poster right in the background, and I want you to put lipstick and kiss the poster and put a heart around it.
Ew.
That's it. That's what I
No.
want.
No. Not happening.
Christine,
Not
I didn't say you. I said Crystal, not
I'm
you.
not doing
Bud.
it either because Bud's gonna win.
When
Stop.
Bud knock out
Stop.
Canelo,
That's
fixing
not
to-
happening.
you fixing to
both
put
know that's not
a
happening.
Bud
Okay, I
tattoo
love
right on
this.
your
Ramirez
forehead.
Boxing. Look at this. Ramirez Boxing 24/7. Chicken, July 11th. I'll be there. I'm the group that got 22 seats together. My guy. Be
And
sure
I
you
still
come
haven't got
up
my
to
ticket.
us. Be sure you
And I-
come up to us so we can take pictures. Yes, thank you.
And I still have not received my ticket. I gotta call Chicken myself. Let me DM Chicken.
Chicken's mad at
Christina's
you.
not taking care of me. I just wanted to hold the spit
Chicken
bucket.
is like this with Tierra, just like I am. So I don't know if she's gonna respond to you.
I like Tierra. Why is Tierra mad at me? I didn't even know she was really upset at me. I didn't do anything wrong.
Okay, Crystal, last words.
You say last word?
Yes, last
Sorry,
words.
I was still a little bit caught up with this Canelo Crawford. I
I
can't
know,
believe
right?
you invite this lad to the show. I'm shocked. Look at he can't even show your eyeballs, only his forehead.
You make fun of my silky pajamas and my big head now. I don't know what show I was invited
You
to
was
today.
my friend until you say that.
Oh my god, I can't believe
I'm
you.
just playing. Listen, just so everyone know, yes, the National Golden Gloves is over, so I won't tell you to go out and seek a seat at the local Golden Gloves show. It is over. It was a great week. We have some great champions. So if you get the opportunity to take a look at some of the highlights, I'm sure they have them at the goldenglovesofamerica.com. It was a great week. Now we can focus on some other situations here, like some upcoming bouts, and for sure hit that DB3 card. I think that would be great. The Franchan card. I'm looking forward to all of these, but most of all, I'm looking to September 12th, 2025. I don't know where it will be. I hear some crazy rumors, but I will be there.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so excited. And just to piggyback off Crystal, like we see all these great world champions and up and comings and prospects, but everything starts with the amateurs. So support your local gyms, go to the local shows, the club shows, and help these guys to make it to the big screen, please. Norbs, last words.
I will be wearing my Canelo silky pajamas September 12th, and I'm going to send Bud Crawford a pillow so he can lay on after Canelo puts him to sleep. And you, Mrs. Manza Crystal, I have never been insulted so much on the show before. I am hurt.
He's lying.
You know what I mean?
I do it all the time.
I am hurt. And Tiara, I love you, okay? It was not me. I am nonpartisan, okay? Crystal, I'm going to see you one of these events, okay? And that's what I'm going to say.
That's
I
fine.
love you guys. Appreciate
Come on
you.
up.
We love to love you. And until Wednesday, everybody have a good night.
Good night, guys. Crystal, I'm watching.